In all the news that's been going on, some really interesting news has almost been skipped. And I wanted to come back and cover this. I did a full circle on this because, there's just been a lot of things to talk about. And Stalker 2 is one that is in the, solid light. This is one game where, for some strange reason, was able to maintain its fan base over the years. And it seemed like they showed up. We heard that within, I think, the first month or so, the game had sold about 1 million copies, and then we heard after a few weeks that it had recouped all its cost, and so pretty much was just, churning, a profit, and was on Game Pass and was able to accumulate about 6 million players. So a lot of eyes. Now, here's the beauty of something like this, and a lot of gamers have not tapped into this, and I'll use this to explain the Game Pass model and the Game Pass paradigm. If Stalker 2 happened to be a game that you liked and you played it on a service like Game Pass, what happens is you've already established a save file or some progression with Stalker 2. And that progression that you've basically gone ahead to accumulate, you would love to own it at some point if you care enough for the game. Like, you know what I mean? When I say own, you would love to be able to keep hold of it because this game eventually is going to leave Game Pass. I don't think it's a permanent fixture. I think Wolong is leaving Game Pass after, 2-ish years or almost. And so Stalker 2, I'm seeing maybe a 2-year window, a 3-year window. Lies of P is also leaving Game Pass, right? These games, if you've played them and you already have progression in them, especially advanced progression, you would probably end up buying the game because your progression stays here. It just sticks for as long as, you want it to basically go ahead and stay. You're going to go ahead and see this. And I think this is also a Play Anywhere title, if I'm correct. I don't know why they don't have it here. This says playable on PC, but I remember having played it on, having fired it up on the console. Or have I? I don't know. I need to go back and check. Maybe it might not be a Play Anywhere title. Maybe it just has like a cloud sync thing where it actually works together. And so you'll probably find yourself in a position where you want to go ahead and buy and keep your progress here. Or in the alternative case, you probably may not want to go ahead and buy Stalker 2 on the Xbox PC platform. What you may do is you may go ahead and say, I'll wait for a sale. And that's what a lot of gamers that use Game Pass do. By the way, for those of you who may or may not know, they'll wait for a sale. And then when the game is already discounted on Steam, they come out on Steam and they go ahead and buy the game. So pretty much this is one way that Game Pass is able to push games, number one, in front of people so that they can see what the game looks like if they like the game. And many of them eventually are upsold on the game and purchase a copy that when the game is already there. You see, at first, publishers were, and developers were talking smack about Game Pass. They made Game Pass seem like, this is just, this is just, and all of that stuff, right? They were all making it seem like, well, it doesn't seem like this and this and this, and all of that stuff. But in reality, though, what many of them probably didn't want to tell you is how revolutionary it is, because many of them didn't really know. They never put their games on Game Pass. So many of them didn't necessarily know exactly how the service was going to benefit them. Now, not saying that they needed to put their games on Game Pass, like Baldur's Gate 3 developers, where they were like, no, we're not interested in doing this and blah, blah, blah. And some people hailed and cheered them. Hey, yay. They want to sell their game and all that stuff. It made it seem like that. But there are some games that will benefit from the service. Now, some other games will not benefit as much. I mean, I don't know if Indiana Jones has even gathered up to 6 million players across Game Pass and even, PC launch, if you get what I mean. But Stalker was able to go ahead and do it in this particular regard. So it's a game-by-game basis at the end of the day. Now, here's the crazy thing. When the game is all said and done and all good, it's going to benefit like, the game Lies of P did, the way it benefited. But Lies of P actually, in my opinion, I think it probably benefited more because it launched on PlayStation and was able to sell, and now they're coming out with DLC. I think Stalker 2 is also going to have that benefit on the back end, having recouped its cost and is now eating profit. And when they go to PlayStation, they're going to be able to go ahead and continue from those folk who have been also exposed to Stalker to go ahead and start to, make some more money as well. So this is actually pretty interesting. It's pretty cool at the end of the day that you'll see something like this. And the developers are pretty excited. They now see their product as viable and has gotten, more exposure. Something that usually they would never have done. Launching their game on on consoles has already helped them to pretty much, take the narrative as, this survival shooter, FPS and all that stuff. So they said the zone has never been so loud before. At the rest stops, stalkers are singing songs and playing the guitar. Laughter is heard everywhere, from Zalicia to Wild Island and beyond. At some point, even the quiet camp turned into a traffic jam. Today, we're celebrating the 6 million stalkers who have come to play Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl. 6 million, a scope that is hard to comprehend, but it is real thanks to you. We're incredibly grateful and proud that each of you has left a unique mark in the zone. Good hunting, Stalkers. And I think this is, money that they've been probably working to attain, and now are going to go ahead and see. And with possibly more money for them to collect later down the road. Because again, like I said, once I played the game, I was like, okay, this game is a game that's likely to filter me out. I don't know if I want to give full price for getting filtered in this particular, in this particular game. But I have established some progress, and I liked what I see. So because I already, went ahead and purchased the other, games as well, I look forward to buying this game on my platform that I prefer pretty soon. I was going to go ahead. I did put a pre-order in on Steam, but I was like, well, maybe I can get the Xbox version so I can play, pretty much on my console and my PC. So I canceled that pre-order. And pretty much I'm waiting to, basically say, okay, which one am I going to go for? Because again, it's kind of weird. I like playing Metro on my, Steam Deck. I don't think Stalker 2 is Steam Deck verified. Let me check. If it is, okay, it is not verified on the Steam Deck. If it was, I would have easily said, all right, Steam it is. So again, I guess it's probably one of those things where there's just a lot of choices that I have to make. And so I'm kind of dragging my feet to make sure that once I buy my one copy, I'm not all over the place. Because I remember buying a Good Old Games copy, and then I was like, well, I want to play it on for the old games. I want to play it on my Steam Deck. So then I went ahead and bought it on Steam. So now I'm sitting on multiple copies of the former Stalker games because I wanted to support the developers as best as I could. But I also want to be able to play the game, in a way that it suits me and in a way that's convenient for me. All right. These are my thoughts on this particular game. I wanted to go ahead and do a full circle and return to talking about some of the advancements that the game had seen. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section. It's nice that in the gaming industry, we still are having winners because, again, fans can be loyal. Dedicated fan bases can actually be really, a big deal. And so this is why you treat your fans very well, because when it comes down to it and the time comes around, many times they'll be there for you. And this is really cool. So talk to me again, like I said, in the comment section. Hopefully we'll talk pretty soon in another one. Peace out.